Well, I will be damned. Broken Lawn Chair has flown across the country to join the show. Zachary Miller, my brother, Lawn Chair Sports least big fan, I think. If you haven't checked it out already, check out Broken Lawn Chair on TikTok. It's absolutely hilarious. It's basically this guy just trolling us, which is probably well-deserved. But big day on the show. We have a lot to cover. Let's start off right off the bat. Sherrone Moore in Michigan. What the hell is going on with this guy, man?
Dude, this story was absolutely nuts. I couldn't believe when I first saw it. I mean, fired for cause. That's a big thing right there. And I mean, this story cuts deep. I mean, this guy kind of out of control.
Well, let's take it back, right? So when Jim Harbaugh was leaving Michigan, part of the deal of him leaving and all of that was Sherrone Moore had to be the next coach for University of Michigan, which kind of leads you to believe, did Coach Harbaugh know that Sherrone Moore was a piece of shit like this? Is that why he made sure he got the head coaching job at Michigan? Because secretly Harbaugh wanted Michigan to do so bad after he left? It's kind of the only thing I can think of. Zach, you went to Michigan State. How does a Michigan State alum feel about Michigan just absolutely collapsing? And also put that mic up right to your face right here.
Well, it does make it feel better that the Michigan State previous coach had some issues. So now the Michigan coach having his own issues, I don't know if I feel good about it. It's all a bad situation. I don't root for that kind of thing to happen to anyone. But you like seeing the other team down a bit.
I mean, I do. I definitely root for this kind of stuff to happen. Also, so more details have come out after about how he actually got fired, how this all came up. Obviously, there was rumors swirling within the University of Michigan athletic department, but apparently what happened was it wasn't the staffer that he was having the affair with that kind of bubbled this all up. What happened was there was a staffer on the team, and Sherrone Moore was apparently paying hush money to the staffer because they knew about the affair. And for some odd reason, Sherrone Moore fired this staffer. And the staffer was like, listen, you're screwed, man. And he did what everybody says they would do if they got fired, but no one actually does. They bring up all the dirt of their boss. So they brought it up to the Michigan AD. They proved the relationship. 2 days later, Sherrone Moore got fired, and Sherrone Moore took it very well. He obviously ruined his entire life. His wife found out. And then he immediately went over to the staffer's house and threatened to kill them and himself, allegedly. But the mugshot, the whole thing being turned in 48 hours, this story is one of the wildest college football head coaching stories, I think, of our lifetime.
Yeah, this is absolutely nuts. It's like we've seen coaches mess up before. You know, they're having some affairs in the workplace that are not encouraged. Like when I first heard the story, it sounded a lot like Ime Udoka getting fired as Celtics head coach. The reaction is so much worse. It's like the response to show up to this poor girl's apartment and then grab a butter knife and say you're going to do all this crazy shit. I mean, that's why this guy can never get a job ever again. I feel like if it was just the affair with the staffer, give it 2 years, he would get another shot somewhere else. You can't be showing up with, threatening to make crazy moves with butter knives at apartments. I mean, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah, can you imagine being on the recruiting trail after this?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough sell to
Who's
parents.
going to let this guy in their house?
Tough sell to parents, but, who wouldn't want their kid to play at a D1 program?
I mean, I think you're right, Andy. I mean, I think just the affair alone, time would have fixed that, and maybe he would have had a chance maybe at Louisiana State to kind of rebuild his career. I mean, let's not forget Steve Sarkisian went to USC and had like that horrible alcoholism kind of syndrome at USC. And then he kind of went away, became Nick Saban's assistant. And then suddenly, boom, he's like a top contending head coach again. Everyone forgets about his USC days. Let's not forget when Lane Kiffin had his little spout at USC, kind of sucked. Then he kind of went under the radar for a while. So you can definitely do really bad things, take some time off, and come back strong. But as soon as you're threatening people with knives, that's kind of like the dagger in the back right there. That's kind of it for coaching. But where does Michigan go from here? Is Michigan just another scumbag school who knew all of this stuff was happening? They didn't want to release it before signing day. I think that's another big story. Apparently, everyone in the university knew about this before signing day, but they didn't want it coming out because it would have basically tanked Michigan football for about 4 years if this had come out before. So, wild story. There's a lot more to come out in Michigan. What are your thoughts, though? Do you think they knew ahead of time and were holding this back? That seems like it would be a Michigan move.
It kind of sounds like they did. Apparently, rumors of this were swirling on online message boards, which every once in a while, they've got the real information. They've got the story before the national media does. I mean, I think Michigan knew all about this. The timing is just too convenient. I mean, not only is the national signing day, it's also less than 2 weeks after the loss to Ohio State. It's like they had an outside chance to salvage their season, maybe get in the playoffs. As long as you beat OSU, everything seems good. I mean, yeah, I think convenient timing. And who knows? I mean, that staffer, who knows what led to the firing? I can't help but think the loss to Ohio State, it's all connected. It's like maybe she felt comfortable saying, you know what? I think if I go to the school, they're going to back me because you just lost to OSU, buddy. Not in the playoffs 2 straight years.
And what if this guy, this anonymous guy on the online boards was actually just Connor Stallions?
Ooh.
Trying to get Sherrone Moore back for not having his back. That guy worked his butt off to get all these cheating signs, and they just basically ousted him from the program and acted like he wasn't there, even though no one loved Michigan more than Connor Stallions. I think this might have been his revenge on the Harbaugh-Sherrone Moore scheme. I wouldn't be surprised if you start hearing Connor Stallion's name come out as a potential fill-in for the University of Michigan head coaching role. No one would love that more than Ward Manuel over at University of Michigan. I at least think he's going to get an interview for the job.
Yeah, I mean, last time he was on the staff, they won a national championship. I mean, since then, 2 straight years out of the playoff. I don't know. He's got a pretty impressive coaching resume.
All right, let's do this. Let's everybody pick their favorite potential candidate for University of Michigan and a quick explanation of why. Zach, we'll go over you first.
It's got to be a Michigan man. That's what they want. I don't have a name for you. I don't know who they would go with. I think losing Harbaugh was the worst thing that could have ever happened to Michigan, and nobody can fill his shoes. I don't think it matters who they get. It's not going to live up to the Harbaugh hype. Can't do it. It's a bad job to take.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think this is an easy one. Urban Meyer. I think the only move is just to plug in an even bigger scumbag. I mean, this is a guy who, at least Michigan, they're moving swiftly here. They found out about this information. They're making a move quick. I mean, Urban Meyer at Ohio State, he had Zach Smith on his staff for 3.5 years. Him and his wife knew that Zach Smith was a piece of shit. He was hitting his wife back home. Urban Meyer didn't care. They were winning. He was on the staff.
Well, Urban
Michigan
Meyer
needs to
had a
just
little,
keep going lower and lower.
Don't forget Urban Meyer had a little run-in with the ladies, too, at the bar.
He did.
So it would be fitting that they would hire someone a little less shitty than Sherrone Moore. I actually have a surprise candidate. I don't think either one of you would have been thinking about this one. What about a true character guy, someone who has had his team's back, his college kids back since day one, and that is Oklahoma State's coach, Mike Gundy.
Ooh.
I think Michigan, when everyone else is zigging, they zag. They get the classic Southern Texas football coach to come in there and lay down the law of what it means to be a respectful man. I think Michigan needs this hire. I think Gundy has proven that he can win at the highest levels, but he's never had the resources like University of Michigan. Don't expect some young coach to come in. I think they need some tenacity from the top. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Michigan. Andy, I know you had another story you wanted to talk about. What else did you want to talk about today?
Yeah, no, a lot on the docket, but I think a big one that we got to hit on. Phillip Rivers is coming out of retirement. 5 years after last playing in 2020. I mean, the Colts, our beloved Danny Dimes, went down with a torn Achilles. He's out for the rest of this year, probably going to miss next season. This fairy tale season for Danny Dimes comes to a halt. Colts season falling apart. But they're not just going to roll over. They're saying we're going to turn to a familiar face, Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement. I mean, what are our thoughts here?
He's a grandpa. Phillip Rivers is officially a grandpa. So this has to be studied. Is this the first grandpa starting quarterback in NFL history? I would think so, probably. Now, it's a wild move that they would hire someone who hasn't played in 5 years. Phillip Rivers was a good quarterback, but he wasn't good in his last year. So I don't know, 5 years of not playing at all and probably just being like a high school football coach, I don't think that puts the Colts in probably the best scenario to win a football game. But let's see what Irsay has to do here. She's been on the headphones all season. She apparently knows all the personnel, all the coaching moves. So this might have been an Irsay move to get Phillip Rivers, but I think Cam Newton would have been a better fit in Indianapolis.
No, you don't.
I think Cam Newton would have been a better quarterback to come out of retirement. He's definitely more athletic. He had a better career than Phillip Rivers, and there's no one that's going to bring a locker room together like Cam Newton in a time of crisis like this.
I disagree completely. I mean, Phillip Rivers was solid his last year. They made the playoffs. He knows the system. Give him back into a familiar setting. He'll be fine. He's going to run an offense. He knows how. Just don't turn the ball over, and the Colts will be fine. Cam Newton, okay. He has not been good his last few years. In what was he on the Patriots last?
It was rough.
No good. And he looks like Willy Wonka now. I mean, his get-ups are out of control. That's going to bring a locker room together? They're going to laugh him out of the room.
First off, the disrespect you just put on Cam Newton's name is out of control. This guy's outfits are electric. It's one of the reasons he's one of the least watched NFL podcasters who's an ex-player. Ryan Clark eats his lunch in the podcast. However, disrespecting Cam Newton's hats and his hair and his weird suits will not be tolerated on this podcast. No matter what TikTok you make against this podcast, we will not accept you slandering Cam Newton's outfits. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are the same goofy hats that he won the MVP, got to the Super Bowl wearing. So, I mean, I agree. It was disrespectful. They didn't even give Cam Newton a call. He's expressed interest in coming back to being a starting quarterback in the NFL again. But I feel like if you're not excited about old Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to play, then you're boring. I think this is awesome. This is hilarious. I think it just might work. I mean, the Colts have an amazing offensive line. You can't touch the quarterback anymore. It's Danny Dimes. He's not being asked to replace, prime Josh Allen.
We'll see what happens with the. I just think, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Madden put Phillip Rivers in as well, and they made Phillip Rivers very fat in the game. So very unfortunate for Phillip Rivers there. He's definitely looking a little pudgier. Not that he was ever the most in shape guy in the NFL, but I think we talked about head coaches getting more fit. I like to see the quarterbacks getting less fit. It's a good move for the NFL that the head coaches are in better shape than the starting quarterback. We'll see what happens for Indy there. Another interesting twist on this I've seen online, many people are saying not only should they have contacted Cam Newton, but Indianapolis once again ignores the fact that Colin Kaepernick has been working out for the last 8 years, ready for a moment like this, and no one calls Colin Kaepernick. He takes a knee one time during a national anthem, and since then the NFL has completely blackballed him. This was Colin Kaepernick's opportunity to start and prove that it wasn't a fluke in 2013 when he last started an NFL game and led his team to the Super Bowl where the lights went out.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kaepernick seemed like the logical choice here. It's like they overlooked the guy who's been working out every day for 13 years in favor of the guy who basically just chilled at home and ate DoorDash for the last 5. So I think it's extremely unfair. Another bad look for the league.
I mean, Kaepernick wasn't good his last year playing. What are you talking about? There's no way he's up to playing these days. There's just no way.
Have you seen the newest workout video?
No, I'm not watching Kaepernick workout videos.
Well, and that's something that maybe someone who's not as dedicated to a sports podcast would say, because I don't know if you know this, but Colin Kaepernick posts his workout videos every day on YouTube, hashtag at Colin Kaepernick workout video again.com. And he's throwing some dimes out there to middle school receivers.
I don't know. I feel for the guy. He seemed like a nice guy. I always wanted him to do well. But come on, this is an NFL franchise that has a lot at stake. They are fighting for a playoff spot.
And why not turn to a guy
experience.
who's led a team to a Super Bowl in the past?
They just need someone to come in, run a smooth offense, not turn the ball over, and they'll be fine. If they get 2 more wins, they're likely in.
All right. We'll agree to disagree there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the Phillip Rivers saga in Indianapolis. Let's talk about a couple things here. So Broncos are Broncos are at home playing Green Bay. They're on a 10-game winning streak. They're almost number 1 in the AFC, and they are an underdog to Green Bay. Is Vegas undervaluing the Broncos this year? Because I feel like they're not getting enough shine, and Bo Nix is playing some of the best football we've seen all year.
Yeah, I believe they are undervaluing these Broncos. I think the Broncos are a juggernaut. Bo Nix is a freaking monster. He's playing better than Jordan Love right now. I mean, he's the reason the Broncos are looking like one of the top contenders to come out of the AFC. I'm rolling with the Broncos in this game. I mean, how could you be a home underdog when you were just rolling through teams? You never know where you get with Jordan Love. It's like sometimes he's flaky. Bo Nix, guy's just rock solid.
Yeah. Bo Nix is the oatmeal in the morning guy. Like, he's not flashy, but goddamn, he's going to give you some energy all day. And then you have Jordan Love, on the other hand, who he is a bacon cheeseburger for lunch. Like, yeah, sometimes it hits very hard when you're hungover, but you can't be having that every day and expecting good results. So I think Jordan Love, one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL, and Bo Nix is definitely the top QB in his draft class and continues to show that week after week.
Okay. The Broncos have won some very close games this year. Almost all of their games have been pretty close, and they've gotten the wins. It's very similar to Kansas City last year, and Kansas City
and the year before that.
And Kansas City took it all the way to the Super Bowl last year. I don't think the Broncos deserve to be favored this week. I think the Packers are a better football team, and the Broncos have gotten very lucky this year. We'll see.
I always think it's funny when people have the take of they only won by a little bit in the NFL take. That is such a lazy take because, I mean, what is the point of playing an NFL game? It's to win. Whether you win by 30 or you win by 3, it doesn't matter. Bo freaking Nix and Sean Payton know how to win games when it matters, and that is what separates a great team from an average team.
What do they have? 2 more wins than the Packers?
They do.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just goes back and forth. It's a long season. You got to take in all the games. I think the Packers win this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, what you might call luck, I call poise and grit at the end of the game. I mean, I think the way Bo Nix is playing right now in the fourth quarter, if he's in a 2-minute drill with a chance to tie or win it, I mean, you were having nightmares as an opposing defensive coordinator.
It's interesting you take that approach to the Broncos, but not the Bears. Your anti-Caleb rhetoric doesn't seem to match what your Bo Nix rhetoric is.
Oh, well, Bo Nix is the reason they're winning those close games. Caleb Williams is the reason they're close. If Caleb Williams wasn't the quarterback, these games would be absolute blowouts. Bo Nix doesn't have a great receiving core. Bo Nix doesn't have a great defense and an O-line and a running back. And I just think that Caleb Williams, unfortunately, the locker room just doesn't rally around him, mainly because he paints his nails and is a crybaby on the sidelines. And when he loses, he jumps into the stands and cries in his mom's arms. So I think that's mainly the reason that I think Caleb Williams isn't even on the same, shouldn't even be uttered in the same NFL sentence as Bo Nix right now.
Yeah, it's a good take. Yeah, it's like we're watching the Broncos win because of Bo Nix right now, whereas with Caleb Williams, to me, it looks like a Trey Lance in San Francisco situation all over again, where they whiffed at the pick up high, but you know what? They have such an offensive genius as coach and a GM to put together an absolute juggernaut of a roster. I mean, they could have brought old Phillip Rivers out of retirement, thrown to studs like Luther Burden. I mean, it's easy playing quarterback in Chicago right now.
I will say the Broncos don't scare me. As a Bills fan, I would love for the Bills to play the Broncos.
What about that altitude,
in the
though?
playoffs.
Going into Denver?
Yeah, let Prater kick a 55-yard field goal.
Josh Allen has never seen altitude like that in his life.
Okay, we're going to switch gears here. I know this is a quick one. We're going to come back to the NFL because we got to talk Bills and Patriots, and we got to talk our bet for tomorrow. So we will be touching on that. But this is one of the most interesting stories that I've seen in all of sports. Obviously, with the NIL and college football, it's a different landscape than we're used to. But University of Utah has done something that no other college has done, and it could be an absolute disaster for colleges and college football as a whole. The University of Utah's Board of Trustees on Tuesday unanimously approved the creation of a for-profit company in partnership with private equity firm Otro Capital. The University of Utah will go down in NCAA history as the first collegiate athletic department to accept private equity money. The deal is expected to generate up to $500 million in capital. The new venture will be called Utah Brands and Entertainment. And once the legal paperwork is completed, and they will manage a variety of that's University of Utah, athletic operations, including media, hospitality, licensing, and finance. So it's a 2-year-old private equity company that did this, and they're based in New York. They have deep-rooted experience in pro sports, including the formation of the Legends Hospitality. So the reason this kind of comes up is because actually if you look at the books at a lot of these athletic programs, they seem like they're making a bunch of money, but actually Utah in 2024 lost $17 million as an athletic department, and they spent $126 million just the University of Utah for athletics. So what this is going to do is going to allow Utah to kind of try to become profitable, and I assume a large portion of this is to create a very large NIL fund to get some of the top talent in the league. Now, if the University of Utah is doing a $500 million deal with private equity, what are these good schools actually worth to these private equity companies? And as we've seen with Chipotle, as we've seen with Kava and restaurants like that, private equity coming in usually doesn't mean the product's going to improve.
Yeah, I think this is a situation where private equity, they're going to look to cut costs. So, I mean, that $17 million deficit, bye-bye Utah water polo team. It's tough, but there are going to be some cuts around that athletic department. And this just proves these have been professional sports the whole time. I mean, we talk about the athletic departments and these college teams. They're only loosely affiliated with the college. I mean, the players, yes, they're enrolled in the classes. They don't even go. They don't take their own exams. It's pro sports loosely based on the premise of a university nearby.
All right. If you look at college athletics, where is the money?
Football and basketball.
Football and basketball, sure. But Title IX, you got to have the women's sports, which is great for the school. But the actual money comes from the TV deals. How is private equity going to increase these TV deals? I'm baffled by this. Where there's so much that they're not going to be able to control, that's going to be a tough situation for all those people that work in that athletic department. To have private equity come in and try to cut costs is going to be a tough sell. And how are they going to increase revenues? The number one way is to be a part of a good conference that gets a TV deal or to be successful in your sports. Utah's not going to be super successful because of private equity. I don't think they're going to be able to get these recruits in without a solid head coach that can bring in players that can then go to the NFL. That's how you sell a program. If you can offer a path to the NFL, then you can get the good players. Private equity isn't going to solve this problem.
Well, could this be the spot for Sherrone Moore to land on his feet with his NFL connections?
Possibly. I don't see it. I don't think the money's there. But hey, make a swing.
But is the money ever there with private equity? When they do these deals, a lot of reasons they're even doing this. Let's say they got in for this $500 million valuation. If they can try to do some sort of scheme where they make it seem like it's now worth $580 million in 3 years, and then they just sell to a different private equity, then they've value added $80 million. They've taken their profits and moved on. I don't know what the long-term vision is here. Obviously, as a amateur podcast, we haven't done any research on this at all. So it's kind of tough to really talk about the details of it. But I can tell you this kind of money flowing into a university is never good. It's the devil on the shoulder. It sounds like a good idea. Whoever the athletic director probably understands this deal about as much as me. And he was like, yeah, $500 million sounds good. This will be flashy in the media. Hopefully get a couple good recruits. And in today's world, you get a Diego Pavia to play for your team for 1 year. You can take a team like Vanderbilt, who's been the joke of SEC, to now signing some of the top recruits in the league just because of one football player. It's that Johnny Manziel effect, right? They just need one good guy to come to their team, and then hopefully you can get a bunch of people in the transfer portal. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's an interesting story to follow. Andy, I know you had some other stuff. What else did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to go outside the sports world briefly, and this is tough for me to even bring up, but we got to hit on it. I mean, it's a breakthrough in the medical world. Doctors, they're prescribing a new pill that's being called the Ozempic of alcohol, and it's designed to reduce the urge to drink. What are your thoughts on this? Does this make you happy? Does it make you sad? Is this something you'd be potentially interested in trying?
I would take it right now. We're shooting this podcast at 7:30 in the morning. We had a couple beers last night,
Right.
Maybe 13 espresso martinis in the course of 20 minutes. I feel like I drank 13 coffees 10 seconds ago. If I would have taken the pill yesterday before that, would I have just been a normal person at the bar? The answer is I don't know. But the thought of just being able to go to a bar and have a couple, that sounds appealing to me. So I don't hate the idea of this, and I would absolutely be happy to take this drug first and see what happens to my kidneys in 30 years.
Yeah, I don't even understand how this could work. I mean, how can you reduce the passion to engage in just such a fun activity of throwing a few back with the boys? I mean, this is the type of medical breakthrough I thought we would never see in our lifetime. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, I mean, hopefully if it actually provides help to those that do suffer from alcoholism, it sounds like a good thing to have. But I don't think it's for your casual drinker. I don't think it's for you to only have a few as opposed to more than a few at the bar. It sounds like it's something for folks that really need help to not have that first drink.
Who are these folks?
Alcoholics.
According to Andrew Huberman, anyone who drinks more than 2 drinks a week is an alcoholic. So I don't know. That line gets blurred a lot. I hear a lot of people say, oh, it's actually like there's a spectrum of alcoholism. No, there's not. If you go to a bar, you can clearly identify someone who's an alcoholic versus someone who's just having a good time. It's some very clear indications. It's time of day drunk. It's how many girls they talk to while they're drunk rudely. That's usually a good indicator. We talked about this last night. Do they have all 4 limbs? If they have all 4 limbs, there's a higher likelihood that they're not versus are. We've seen a lot of people who are missing at least one limb tend to lean on the more alcoholic side.
Yeah,
I don't know if the pill helps them.
All very true observations. Also, being able to not have a drink in your hand for more than 15 seconds, I mean, that can be tough for someone who's really dedicated to the craft. You know, you need that refill ready. I mean, you're not comfortable holding an empty glass for more than a brief moment.
Is that how it works for you guys? Because you're right, Andy. When we go to a bar or a concert, you really noticed it at the concert, but when you finish that drink, you just kind of get like a panic of like, I better get one now. I can't have this gap. It's a weird feeling of how long can I not drink to where my buzz starts going down? Because once you start riding that roller coaster, you really don't want to start slowly falling off.
Well, with the cans, you feel like you're naked. It's like being in public with no pants on. It's like, I got to address this fast. I mean,
Yeah, what do I do with my hands?
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
6, 7. Who's inventing that drug? And I think big alcohol will not like this. There's no way that they're going to allow this to pass. There's no way. Alcohol is already suffering from Gen Zs being absolute babies and not drinking with their friends. So I don't think Jim Beam, I don't think Johnny Walker is going to let this happen.
Yeah, once again, limited research went into the topic, but you got to imagine, big THC, big tobacco or spirit.
This might just be Jewel coming back to be like, oh, yeah, you screwed us over. We're going to come for alcohol. So that would be absolutely hilarious.
I'm excited to follow the story.
All right. I know we've talked about this a little bit on the podcast before, but there's been some more details coming in about this Chauncey Billups mafia story. So supposedly, and we'll just give a quick refresh for those of you who are tuning in now. Obviously, the mafia, these three big mafia families, were using Chauncey Billups and other celebrities as basically the bait to get people, or suckers as they would call them, into play these private poker games where they had elaborate cheating scandals where the card shuffler would be able to know the order of the cards. They would wear glasses that could literally see through the cards. So you're playing poker at Rain Man level, obviously, and they were scamming people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars per night, which accumulated to obviously tens of millions of dollars over the course of this entire scheme. But supposedly the payments to Chauncey Billups were low. I mean, he was apparently getting $50,000 per time that he did this for a guy that made $110 million in the NBA and is currently was an NBA head coach. What's going through someone's brain where they're putting this much on the line for $50,000?
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious to see how much these guys risk for relatively small amounts of money. It's, who knows how he even got entangled with them to begin with? Did he himself go to one of these mafia games, get some big debt? They said, you know what? Why pay us back when you could just work for us? It's like when someone does, what do they call it, like a residency, when an artist does it at a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Chauncey, he's been doing residency for quite some time.
That is true.
And they said, you know what? Bring your friends. You got some big name friends. Bring them in. Yeah, they can be the draw. Maybe we can scam them too. I mean, it is. These athletes, they're dirty.
There's got to be more to it. There's just the risk reward there doesn't make sense. There's got to be something else to it that I don't know if we'll ever get the full details, but it can't just be for the money for Chauncey. There's other things.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a Bruno Mars situation. So Bruno Mars, huge gambling and cokehead, apparently racked up over $100 million in gambling debt with the Rio in Las Vegas. And that is why he has been, like you said, a resident performer at the Rio for the last 3 years, has not produced any new music because every night Bruno Mars has to get up on stage and recoup his $100 million in gambling debt. He does not have new music.
What about his duet with Lady Gaga?
That was Bradley Cooper.
Oh.
Wrong guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. On the topic of those X-ray glasses that could see through the cards, you can't tell me that these haven't been used for the NBA draft lottery for years. I mean, a lot of people think that the Patrick Ewing draft lottery was rigged, and the main theory is, how do they do it? A cold envelope. One of them was cold. Don't pick that one. No. To my knowledge, David Stern has always worn glasses. He had these things on early. I mean, that would be the answer behind so many fishy draft lottery results over the years. What about just last year, the Mavs winning with 0.4% chance to win it?
After dealing Luka.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah, and Adam Silver, he's also a weird guy who wears glasses, and he probably also looks into that.
So
now,
no glasses for our next commissioner.
No more glasses in these drafting scenarios. Zach, since you're on the show, I think it's a good opportunity because, we'll get some phone calls from you where you're you have some opinions on the show. You have some things that you think we do poorly. You have some things we think we do well. Let's talk about that. What do you think we could do to improve this show?
Well, I've noticed a format change over the weeks here. I did enjoy the game-to-game recap to a point. I mean, who wants to talk about some of these NFL games? So good move cutting off that. I will say, I do feel like Jerry Seinfeld on Kramer's Merv Griffin set right now. We're just talking to no one. Like it's a wild experience here. Just talking to the void is something else.
It's something that you have to get accustomed to, but what you don't realize is you feel like you're talking to no one, but if you look directly into that camera or that camera right there, you could be potentially staring into the eyes of 4 million Americans taking a shit in the morning. That is who is watching our podcast. That is why we wake up and do this every single day.
I will say I haven't watched many. I'm a listener.
Okay.
Because I go on my long drives. And
Yes.
it is nice listening. I like when you venture away from sports. Yeah. It's
Most people do.
it's
Which is unfortunate for us being a sports podcast, but it seems to be what the people like.
I'm curious where you go when the NFL offseason hits.
Yeah, it's
that
gonna
seems to be
be-
your bread and butter. It's gonna.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's gonna have, where are you gonna pull from? Here, I mean, you got lucky with the end of the MLB season. Like that was
Yeah.
a great World Series, so you could talk baseball. Basketball is gonna be tough to talk about.
Yeah.
I guess you got the Olympics. You got some Winter Olympics this year. That's
Don't know if we'll talk about the Winter
Yeah,
Olympics.
it's tough. It's football really is king, and it's a slow time. I mean, between end of football and start of NBA playoffs, because I like March Madness, but I don't know. I don't know how much material we're gonna get out of that. I
Yeah,
mean,
we don't-
It's a serious dead time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll be talking. We're talking spring training baseball. No, we will lean heavy into
you
just
gonna
happenings in the
We're
world.
going to be
gonna
looking
need
at
some recurring segments.
We're gonna need some recurring
Yep.
segments. We'll have to get some more guests on. We'll have to do some deep diving on Reddit to find some interesting stories. I think that'll be kind of our bread and butter. It'll be interesting to see where we pivot. Where, as a listener, would you like to see the show go, though? What direction after the NFL season?
Full conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dive right into those conspiracy theories and do some investigative journalism. I think there's a market for that. In the Tampa area, do you know who your local sports journalists are?
Yes.
I would hit them up. Get them on the pod. They want to get their names out. They know sports. See what they can bring to you.
By yes, I meant no, because who watches local sports?
Yeah, and I would love to have someone come on here and tell me what Todd Bowles likes to have for dinner. I mean, I think that would be a really good segment.
I would really want to know what Bucky Irving is like in person. That's really what I'm wanting to know in the Tampa Bay market. Andy, before this podcast ends, let's do a quick prediction on the Bills versus Patriots
Yeah.
game. This is a big one for the entire NFL. Everyone's going to be watching. Patriots at home. Wanted to go to the game, but thought it would be maybe a little too cold this time of year to go up to New England. Vrabel and the boys have won 10 straight.
Yep.
And Josh Allen seems to be kind of heating up as well. I feel like it's a good test for both teams. Last game, Patriots absolutely ate the Bills' lunch.
3-point game.
Made the Bills
3 points.
look like absolute pathetic losers. And I still need to wear a Brady jersey from our original bet.
Right.
So before we get into the predictions, let's think about this bet. What are we doing this time? Because we've had some listeners reach out to know what the specific bet is.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking for updates. So my general thought here is that if the Pats win again, it kind of has to be a worse punishment on your end because you're sort of paying two debts versus, I don't know. I think I got a little bit of an edge from the first one. If we want to roll the original bet into it, kind of half-baked ideas. So, all right, if the Bills win, I think I need to DD for a full day of getting hammered at Duff's. I'll have to rock a Josh Allen jersey. I'll have to do something else that's awful. I don't know. It's a half-baked idea. I feel like we need a little Buffalo theme to it.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so if the Bills win, you come to Duff's. We get hammered there for 4 hours. You have to wear a Bills jersey. I will provide the Bills jersey for you during this event.
Appreciate that.
And if the Patriots win, I already have to wear the Brady jersey, but how do we roll it in? What's something worse? Are there Patriots bars around here?
So I don't know of a Patriots bar per se, but what I was thinking is, and this is pretty intense, but you would have to sit down, watch the full 6-part docuseries, Tom versus Time. It's released in 2018. This is the one where Brady, he's French kissing his kid while getting a massage, and I was thinking maybe we do kind of like a live reaction pod to one of the episodes. Hopefully that episode where he's kissing the kid. What are your thoughts here?
I'm in. So, okay, if Patriots win, we will do a live podcast. I will wear a Tom Brady jersey, and we will live stream us watching Tom vs. Time, the episode where he makes out with his kid. That's fair.
That's what the people want to see.
And that's also repulsive, so it will be scarring. And if the Bills win, we will live stream us drinking beers and eating chicken wings at Duff's, which also would be great content. Zach, what are your thoughts on these bets?
Well, first of all, I want to know, how is the Duff's down here?
It's fantastic.
Yeah?
It's, I would
Equivalent?
say, in terms of equivalency
Equivalent to
of like
Sherrone?
a really good place where from your hometown, they nailed it at about 8.5 out of 10 compared to what it is in Buffalo, which is pretty damn good.
Well, I mean, having moved out west, I can't get any decent wings. So it's not even worth trying.
No.
So having a decent Duff's here, that's nice.
Yeah, and it's so funny when you talk to people in Florida and they start talking about, oh, this place has the best wings, and you go and you get the most soggy, too big of wings that you've ever had with sauce that doesn't even stick to the wing. You look at the bottom of your tinfoil tray and just like all the red grease is at the bottom and the wings look completely naked. And then they give you blue cheese that you feel like is either
At least they give you blue cheese.
way too chunky to where you dip and it's just like you're hitting cheese, or it's like watered down. There's no medium in Florida. So Duff's was definitely a good addition to the Tampa Bay market.
The default's usually ranch where I am, which is unfortunate.
It's a big ranch town here, for sure.
As for the bet itself, I don't know. I feel like you're letting him off the hook for losing the first one and not paying up. I mean, I think it's got to be more public, and in Patriots attire, specifically Brady. I mean, as much as
That's his favorite Patriot over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he wear it to work.
Ooh.
Can't wear it to work. Not an option. So
it's a
love
tough
the
one.
effort, but can't do it.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, how would we pull off this public humiliation? I mean, it's just. I feel like most people would just think you're a Patriots fan. It's like,
How about we do this? How about if the Patriots win, I will go to karaoke. I will do stand up in a Tom Brady jersey,
oh, I like
There
that.
it is.
and we can live stream that.
That'd be great.
Go
Go
It'd
to
be
an
great for
open
the
mic.
show. I would
will
love to
do
see you on the
open
mic.
mic in a Tom Brady jersey.
But you can't mention it.
I won't mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be the loser doing an open mic in a Tom Brady jersey.
You got to
That is
incorporate a joke
horrible.
about making out with a kid. You're
I
like,
will.
yeah, so, yeah, apparently you can't make out with your kid anymore?
Yeah.
You read that the other day? What
I
do you think of
will.
that?
I will weave it in.
Yeah.
As Trump would say, I'm a weaver. Actually, I weave it in.
I like this.
So let's do it.
We're figuring it out on the fly.
All right, but quick prediction. I think the Bills roll into Foxborough this weekend and show Mike Vrabel who's boss. Sean McDermott leans him over and slaps his ass, and the Bills take the dominance in the AFC East, and Vrabel goes back to being a little girl.
Yeah, I mean, I'm predicting just absolutely one-sided dominance once again. I mean, I've got the Pats winning 30-21. This train's gonna keep on rolling. Josh Allen, he's been bailing you out last couple weeks, but yeah, it's a new day. I mean, Pats, they're rolling. They're the better team across the board right now.
Yeah, it all depends what Bills defense shows up. If they can't get a couple turnovers, they're probably not going to pull it off. If they can keep it close. I give Josh Allen the edge there at the end.
And the
Go-
Bills are favored
go
in
Bills.
Vegas, 1.5 point favorite.
Well,
I'm not surprised.
they're the better team.
And the game in Buffalo at the start of the year was 8.5. So it's Pats are home, but we've closed a 7-point gap.
I got Bills.
It's a fun fact.
Pats had some rough losses at the beginning.
They definitely did.
That factored
They
into
definitely
that.
did. No, the Raiders lost week 1 looks crazy.
Oh shit! I didn't even know
Yeah.
they lost to the Raiders week 1. That's brutal. All right, anything, Zach? We'll give you first chance. Anything on your chest that you want to get out to the people out there?
I gotta mention my disappointment in the Kings, the Sacramento Kings this year. I've only seen the beam lit 6 times this year. Was it 6 or 7? It's been a rough season, and they're one of those perpetual losing franchises. As a Sabres fan as well, I feel it. It's just tough to go from living in a city of Buffalo and dealing with the heartache of those sports teams to the city of Sacramento and embracing the basketball culture. The fans are amazing, but the consistent losing is tough. I just don't think people from the Boston area appreciate what they've had over the last couple decades.
No, it's been amazing. I mean, people are locked in. We hear that a lot. It's like, you guys don't know what the reality of real sports fans like. People appreciate it. It's even after winning Super Bowl number 6. I mean, they're just as locked in for the next one. And what they've had in Boston, the Celtics, has been incredible. They've been the best run franchise of the last 15 years. I feel like I've watched very few meaningless Celtics games, except for every single regular season game. And if anything, if you're a Kings fan, you should be losing your mind because they completely botched the roster construction. Like, you had an exciting team just a few years ago. Even before, you had Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, I know he's hurt now, but it's crazy.
You give up Halliburton. You build it in the eyes of De'Aaron Fox, and then he demands a trade. I mean, probably a good move on his part. But they've had some questionable decisions over the... I mean, the big one is not drafting Luka. I mean, how
it's a tough one.
How do you recover from that?
You don't. And Zach, I feel for you because you moved from Buffalo, New York to the Buffalo, New York of California, which is Sacramento, California. It's a tough city to be in. You know, it's like Buffalo in the sense of, I feel like every time I go to Sacramento, people from Sacramento are talking about what's coming next in Sacramento. Like it's one of those cities that's almost there. Buffalo was always that city growing up where people would always be like, they're going to redo the waterfront downtown. There's plans. And it's like, well, what are the plans? They're like, they're going to have a Bass Pro Shop downtown Buffalo. And the entire city of Buffalo was putting all of their chips and cards into this Bass Pro Shop. I feel like Sacramento's a little bit like that. Obviously, a better scale than Buffalo. Sacramento's definitely a bigger, more established city, capital of California. Got a lot more going for it. But there is that sense of, we're the little guy. This isn't New York City. We're not Los Angeles in California. You kind of have that underdog mentality. Unfortunately, it also matches the sports team culture, which is no one wants to go play in Sacramento except for expired stars, which is your entire roster right now. DeRozan, Levine, Westbrook. It is tough to watch all of these, quote, Hall of Famers play for your team and just suck and put in no effort except for Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook puts in effort. Yeah, it's not a fun experience.
Because I think a lot of GMs across the board said, the key to building a winner in 2026, it's take the Bulls team from 4 years ago and add Russell Westbrook to it. I mean,
what could go wrong?
Yeah.
But don't have my boy Lonzo Ball on the team, which was the glue to that Chicago Bulls team. In the locker room.
Guy can play.
Guy can rap.
Yeah. Multi-talented.
Andy,
Just him back.
I know you're itching to get something out. What's on your chest?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just like quick rapid fire things we got to hit on. I mean, it's getting ugly with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. He says he's not happy, not having fun playing football. The only time he has fun is when he's playing with Pokemon. I mean, what do we feel about these Burrow comments? Do you think we could see him potentially on the move?
In what world do these NFL players think that their job is supposed to be fun? This isn't about fun. He's got a complete wrong perception of what it means to be a $180 million contract quarterback in the NFL. Joe, this isn't about you. This isn't about your mental health. This isn't about you having fun. Figure it out. You haven't been healthy for a full year since you guys went to the AFC Championship. You've been an absolute dud. You're the one who threw the interceptions on 2 consecutive plays last week. It had nothing to do with your team. T. Higgins was out there fully concussed, catching one-handed touchdowns in the fourth quarter for no reason. And you're out there pouting at the thing. Jamar Chase went up the next day and they asked him about it. And he was like, really? He said that? I thought that was AI.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate that the best friends, Joe and Jamar, who were college teammates, can't even have a conversation anymore. And he's thinking his quarterback is just an AI bot. It's a sad look for Cincinnati. And if I'm a Cincinnati fan, I'm pissed.
Yeah, and it's a symptom of this time too. I mean, everything you see or hear, you have to question: is this AI? So there's a lot to pick apart with this one.
I think you're being a bit dramatic. The guy was just upset after a tough loss. He'll bounce back.
You called him Emo Joe yesterday.
He'll be fine.
People think that he's starting to sound like Andrew Luck before he hung it up, basically saying my O-line is going to be killed. I might just retire because I hate playing for the Bengals.
Well, they put all their money in receivers. What did they expect?
Well, that's what
would
Joe
happen?
wanted, though. So it's kind of frustrating.
You can either have
yeah,
multiple good receivers or a good O-line. You can't have both.
correct.
And then
And defensive end.
as far as him getting out of Cincinnati, I feel like every other sports program, they think it would be interesting if there were a Joe Burrow trade. And they are suggesting these awful trade packages like the Bengals are just looking to ship out Joe Burrow.
Not happening.
Like they're saying, oh, well, what about Jalen Hurts and a future first? Like, why would the Bengals ever do that?
No, they won't, and it won't happen. It's a sad day for Joe Burrow. He apparently just wants to be the GM for LSU football, like Andrew Luck. I mean, that's clearly the path he's on right now because that's the sweetest gig in all of sports, which is GM of a college team because it's not even a real position. And I think it's tough for Burrow. I think Ed Orgeron should possibly become the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe was having fun when Coach O was in the locker room eating some
A lot of crawfish.
some boil, some some seafood boil with Joe. That's when Joe was having fun when they were spelling his last name wrong on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, I would love to see Coach O back coaching football again on the sideline. I mean, you know, Burrow, Jamar Chase played from LSU. That'd be an incredible sight. They got to change something up because, I mean, you want to have fun. I mean, they could miss the playoffs the next 5 years, but Coach O, having him around, that's fun.
Coach O's hilarious, by the way. He went
He's
on
awesome.
Bussin' with the Boys recently, and he was like, the only difference between coaching now and coaching then is back then the money used to come through the back door. Now it comes through the front door. And then he goes, I'm just kidding. That didn't actually happen. Yeah. And then he kind of smiled at the camera. So a pretty funny guy. He also admitted that he went all in on Joe Burrow when they met. And he was like, oh yeah, you're going to be the savior of the program. You're going to this, like, come on to LSU, blah, blah, blah. And then he admitted, he goes, I'd never even watched tape on the kid. So Coach O, the genius who got Joe Burrow, didn't even watch tape on Joe Burrow, which is hilarious.
See, and that's part of why we don't watch tape for the podcast. You know, we think we don't want our opinions to be clouded. We just want,
Nope.
no judgment, just coming at you completely unbiased.
Agreed.
So
Well, it shows.
Thanks.
that's right. No one's more fair in the industry than we are.
Well, I will tell you this. Saturday is going to be hijacked right now. Me and my brother have to go to a birthday breakfast an hour away. So, Andy, I appreciate you waking up after a night like last night,
Yeah.
getting up and showing up. That is what separates this podcast from others. We have grit and determination. Zach, what do you think of the setup? 4 cameras, 3 mics, got a sound mixer right here.
Yeah.
This is a good setup.
It's a good setup. Now you just need some viewers.
And how about this Airbnb that we rented out just for the
Yeah,
show?
well, Surfside keeps renting it out for us.
Yeah.
Which is great. So shout out to our sponsor, Surfside. Shout out to Zach's chair being 3 inches lower than ours.
Right.
And thanks for coming on the podcast.
Cheers.
Go
Yeah.
Bills.
Go Bills.